Okay, Tai Chi women, are you out there? Woo! So just out of curiosity, how many of you already know Tai Chi?
Qigong.
Qigong? Yeah. Some, okay? We will demystify some of this because I'll tell you why. Tai Chi has been around for over 1,000 years, 2,000 if you can include the oral history. So 2,000 years it's been around. And now you're interested in? Okay, here's something that you will be appreciated when I say it's not your fault. Because truthfully, there was a reason why a lot of this stuff kept an ancient Chinese secret. They deliberately did that. So I'll tell you a little bit about what happened and how I'm personally connected to it, so you could just see why it just sort of makes sense that this has been such an esoteric exercise. You know, when I was trying to introduce Tai Chi to a lot of the parks or recreation, they go, "Oh, it's just so esoteric." I said, "Go home and find out what esoteric means." It just means it is like specialized, it's elite kind of information. So part of it is that it is very shrouded in mystery, you know. So I go ahead and ask people. I said, "How come you didn't want to learn Tai Chi?" You tell me. Yeah. Oh, okay. You want to learn? I mean, so say for instance, why didn't so many of us learn before? I've already heard it. You name it, I've heard it. It's for old people. It's so slow. I even heard it's just for Asians. Okay, all of the people may be correct. But look, my father is a Tai Chi Master, and I have been practicing Tai Chi for over 20 years. I just took it for granted that everybody was balanced, everybody was energetic, and everybody was totally in tune with body, mind, and spirit. But apparently that might not be the case. So I'm tracking my father's history and see what was happening. Why did it become such a mysterious exercise and so forth? Well, if you trace back way long time ago, 2,000 years ago, there wasn't everything like a hospital, a clinic, or EKG machines. You pretty much need to be diagnosed with whatever you have as is, you see. So somewhere along the line, we have observed nature and just look at how nature took care of its issues, you know, wounds and fatigue and so forth. So they gathered all this information and put it all together and just use it, you see. So if you observe nature for a long time, talk about secrets, you can discover a lot of things with it. So this information was accumulated over years. And lo and behold, we have a body of information that they found out, whoa. You know, say for instance, if you capture natural energy, if I capture something like the sunlight, and I make it into, capture it into pinpoint concentration, say for instance like a magnifying glass, I could take that sunlight, bring it into a pinpoint concentration. It could even burn a paper through it. It could burn a whole house, you see. So here is this energy that has been captured. You say, so what do you mean? Don't get mysterious on me again. Come on, tell me about that energy, that chi energy, that QI energy. You know, why do they spell it with a Q? You know, that QI energy. So you all already know what that is, because if you have studied the Kundalini, the Prana, you know, the essence of life, that is what it is. But if you really still want to doubt, when you cut your finger without a court order, without a judge, without some federal mandate, that cut starts to heal itself, doesn't it? That is chi. That is that energy that just wants to live, wants to survive. It just wants to be healthy. So all of you have that in you. And why am I bringing it up to today in this convention? Is because those of you, all who have it in you, it's gotten kind of lazy, you know? So with Tai Chi, a couple words that go with it. It's called meditation in motion, and the motion part is a key word here. you got to move, you see. You have to move, because the I Ching, the book of changes, says life is a series of changes, you know, as constantly in motion all the time. The day you don't move, chances are you're dead. That's as basic as it gets. So what you want to do is to get this life energy going. But I'm a little concerned about all of us out there who are really sedentary. If I say that Qi moves when you move, and we are locked into a modern type of living where you're sedentary for all this time, you just start to worry about the Qi that is in you, wants to make you alive and well and deliver the stuff where it needs to get the unstuck energy out. That's what's being held there in all of us. So say, for instance, years ago, your great grandfather, they were out there, and this Qi energy comes from Mother Earth. Talk about connection to Mother Earth. That is exactly where it is. So that when I'm plugged into that Qi energy and it goes into me, I'm energized. Fast forward to now, you know, my great-great-grandparents, they were out there, they were out in the rice paddies and they were working all day. They might have been physically exhausted, but at the end of the day, you could tell they were alive. They were energetic, they were fresh. Now, you go to the office, you just push the mouse the entire day, 16 hours, and you come home, you're exhausted. You're so exhausted, okay? Couple of the clue is that we are not plugged into Mother Earth with this energy there too. So when we do this energy movement with the Qi part, and you see us mysteriously moving one side and mysteriously moving one side, we are actually imitating nature, you see. So this current of energy that you're talking about, again, it's not mysterious. When I say, you look at that tree out there, you see that it's moving, and I say, well, what do you think is making it move? You go, well, that's the wind, you say. It's current. Well, when I talk about Qi and energy, just because you don't see it, you can't taste it, you can't smell it, people say, it doesn't exist. And yet you're totally okay with this current that's being blown around, isn't there? See? So now I want to bring this same concept, because it is nature, that Qi energy that is in you, it needs to have that kind of movement and invitation. So truth be known, all of us are really into making our externals look really good. How about the internal, you see? When we start to activate this Qi energy and it goes move around in you, it's almost like that current that goes out there and blowing the breeze. What we're doing is blowing the inside part of you, you know, so that you're being massaged in the organs. I mean, do you know how good it feels to be massaged on the outside? How does it feel good? Your inside also needs that kind of stimulation there too. You go in there and move that. I mean, when was the last time you massaged your spleen? You know, how about that poor kidney? Well, you can't go in there and go, I'm just make sure this, you know, my adrenaline. No, the key to it is to let the Qi go in there, you see. So when I teach my class, I make sure first thing they do is you try to get rid of that stuck energy. You just kick it out, you wiggle it out, you know. Because if we are energy conscious and we are energy absorbent, which all of you are, you have picked up energy everywhere, not just your orifices. You know, I mean, when I talked about energy about 10 years ago, but even 5 years ago, energy, ooh, she's talking that woo stuff again. But now you know what I mean. Energy science, energy medicine, negative energy. You walk into a room and you just feel something unfriendly. You walk into, or you're with a friend and you say, oh, she's just so full of negative energy today. I just can't be with her anymore. So we talk like that. But you know what? It does happen. Those energy has gone into you. And they stay in you. So when I talk about stuck energy, that's a serious thing. When I ask my students who are coming to class, I said, let's get the stuck energy out. I don't have any stuck energy. I said, oh yeah? if you've ever been disappointed, frustrated, insulted, hurt, wounded, and you say, it doesn't bother me, and it does. That's called stuck energy. We want it unstuck, because if it stays in you, sooner or later it manifests. And a lot of us will get sick from that, because it won't go away. Now, what does that have to do with the chi part? Okay, remember the chi is natural and it's in all of you, so that when you start to move with all these movements that are carefully culled from nature's best movements, and I start to move in a definitive way, like the ocean current, like the breeze, that chi, except that it's happening internally. And it goes throughout my whole body. It finds areas where that stuck energy is. Because this energy has your best interest at heart, it would just start to just move that, surface it, and it's time for you to just get it out, okay? So fair enough to say that sometimes when I teach Tai Chi, and I forget to mention that your stuck energy is going to be moved and surfaced, I have students go home and go, I went home and I cried all night. Tai Chi is supposed to be good for me, and I cried all night. Something got unstuck, something that should have surfaced, okay? And you surface it, and then you start to move it out. Those are emotional symptoms, but I have people they're just itching all over. Oh, because I thought you said this exercise is supposed to make me calm. I'm itching all over the place. I said, you got a lot of toxins in you. And I'm telling you that chi energy does not want it in there. It wants it out, you see. So when we do our Tai Chi, we make sure that we learn the moves to push it out, but I also tell people, learn to hydrate. You need to dilute all the stuff that's coming out. So let's just bring it over to why some of you are still sort of, think of it as a mysterious exercise, and it hasn't done anything. Oh, I see them do it in the park, you know. Why not you? Why not you? Okay. So here's the part where I said, why not you? For the longest time, when they discovered this fantastic exercise that could also make the difference between not only healthy or not healthy, but life and death as well. This is an ancient secret that gets kept. And pretty darn soon, this secret really was passed down and passed down secretly, okay? So if you had the secret to health and longevity, how much would you pay me for? A lot, okay? So pretty soon, this esoteric exercise got to be owned by the very wealthy and by the very powerful, okay? And there was a third group. There was a Shaolin priest, people who are out there in the monasteries, but they have no access to all these emergency services. All they had was nature, observing. So they also got in tune with all these secrets. But they'll never leave the monastery. I mean, that stays over there too. So how are you going to learn about this stuff? How to learn? Well, let me tell you how you're going to be brought over here today, all right? So my dad is a Tai Chi master, but we have other jobs there besides Tai Chi. So he was an ambassador sent to Washington, D.C. to negotiate peace. And he knows Tai Chi really, really well. But when he was sitting there at the peace talks, he said, I cannot, in good conscience, not share this information. Something that will benefit the whole world. And I'm sitting there talking peace. I'm a hypocrite, you see. So in the 60s, he decided he will share. He will share. So he taught the Westerners. He said, don't teach the Westerners. They took our land, they took our resources, they took everything from us. Don't teach it to them. Well, my father did. And there was another fellow, I think his name was Bruce Lee. He decided to share also. Well, so it so happened that his wife was Caucasian, so he says, these white people, they're not bad. And so he also started to teach, and pretty soon, this information got passed down, okay? Now, why Tai Chi? Why Tai Chi for women? This is the message that I want to share with all of you today. Remember this secret that got passed down over time? Well, my father was the son of a landowner in China. And when you own land in China, you are very, very wealthy. You live on my land, pay me. You grew crops on my land, excuse me, but those are my crops. You pay me, you see. So the man was so wealthy. What do you think wealthy people do with the money? They buy the best kung fu teachers that there is. And they teach their sons, not daughters. They will teach their sons, so it gets passed down, okay? So my father was number one son. Number one son, okay? So he got it. It was so wonderful. But how did it get down to yours truly here? Well, my father had 5 daughters. Only. No sons. So when in the beginning, like you, I said, it's for old people. It's too slow, But after a while, I did the marathon, Beta Breaker, Bridge to Bridge, you name it, I ran it, And then all of a sudden, I got these knees that can't move anymore. I got backache, I'm wearing glasses. But the old man, he doesn't wear glasses. He doesn't wear glasses to read, drive. He's never sick a day of his life. He's so full of energy. I'm just dying. My other profession, I'm an art director. I put in 15 hours a day. I really am in front of that computer too. But this old man, Dad, would you teach me Tai Chi? So he taught me Tai Chi. And I said, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. So I'm willing to share. And I have been sharing for a few years there. But why Tai Chi for women? Most of the people who come to my class have issues with balance, okay, and so forth. I said, okay, that's an important point there. But I don't want it just to be an issue for old people, you see. But I specifically want to drive home a message to women in general, women in specific there too. Women, when you think of the major problem of osteoporosis and osteopenia, the thinning of the bones, that has been called a woman's disease, okay? Because we're supposed to be the fairer sex and so forth. Don't buy that garbage about we're the fairer sex. I'll tell you what happened. We ladies, we are built to make babies. We are, okay? Every 30 days, the body conspires. Your best of the best is put together to make that baby. And whether or not it happens, 30 days, I saw it flush down the toilet. Imagine the first time I saw it, I go, oh my God, I'm dying. Okay, so the best of your best is put out there every single 30 days. For how many years? You name them, all the way to menopause, 40 years possibly, that you're just giving and giving and giving. I'm saying that women, you are just the most givingest creatures on earth. Because you have given so much, you do have a little bit of awareness that you have to be. Why are you so surprised that you're candidates for osteoporosis? The bone is where you pull the minerals out of for everything possible to make that baby, you see. So if that's the case, instead of saying, oh, well, I'll just have osteoporosis, now today we talk about supplements, we talk about low impact exercises that will build the density on there as well and so forth. So now it makes sense. But those of us who still are osteoporosis candidates, you can see that if you look at a picture of a regular set of bones where there's bone and holes, and then you have osteopenia where the holes are getting bigger, and then you have osteoporosis where the holes are bigger than there are more holes than there are bones, okay? So now you hear that grandma fell and she broke her bones. It may be just the opposite. Grandma's bones broke, and then she fell. If you have this visual where there's more holes in our bones, you have hollow bones here. So that if I could just like crack this against an edge, it will break. It will break, you see. So here's bones ready to collapse. And so I say to a lot of women in my class, it's very important for you to not fall, you see. Isn't that a very good reality thing? Do not fall no matter what. And then you might as well go get your DEXA scan. By the way, they will not prescribe a DEXA scan for you until you are osteoporotic. Ladies, that's too late. You know, the DEXA scan, why they don't do it is because it's $300. But you can go and get the little bone scan, get your foot and hand. If you do have osteoporosis from those teeny little $39 scans, it will say you have it. If you don't have it, that doesn't mean you might not have it, because you might have it in your hips. Okay? So your takeaway is to do that. I have one more left of talking, but I actually want you to get into the Tai Chi moves, just a little sampling of it, so there's something you could take away. And at this point now, I want you all to learn the Tai Chi breathing. So stand up for the Q&A part I have, because no Q&A time. Okay, just experiential there too. How much time do I have? Okay, the Tai Chi breathing. Tai Chi breathing, you can first put your tongue rested at the roof of your mouth. Okay, if it's resting there now I want you to pinch your nose and try to breathe in. If you can't, you're doing it correctly. The minute you park your tongue at the roof of your mouth, just gently there, it closes the throat passage, so that forces you to breathing through the nose. Definitely why you want to breathe through the nose. This body is the most amazing machine in the whole wide world. It's designed perfectly. You have nose hair there to be filtering out stuff that has no business going in you. You breathe through your mouth, a lot of stuff, maybe even a fly going in there, okay? Hate it when that happens. So your Tai Chi breath is like that. Now, with that kind, I want you to do a Tai Chi breathing, which means a full lung's worth, okay? So where you are, tongue is at the tap out, and then you have your hands in front of you so that when your hands are lifting up, you're breathing in. Tai Chi breath. In through your nose. Fill those lungs up with as much oxygen as possible. And when they're full, exhale and empty out those lungs as much as possible. And this you do outside of Tai Chi, not just Tai Chi. So the last word I want to remind you is the word Tai Chi. Let me define it for you. Tai means supreme, the highest. Chi means optimum, okay? So when I ask all of you, could you be Tai Chi women, meaning can you be the highest that you could be and optimize the most that you could be? If that's the case, then all of you are Tai Chi women. Woo! So, do you have time for yeah, no more time. Okay, I was going to teach you the Tai Chi walk, the Tai Chi balance, but we could do that outside. I have a table there. You have some QAs? Okay. So I will be at my table. No, actually, for the next, I'll be sitting there quietly with my Chi energy, listening to our next speaker. Okay. All right, Tai Chi women, you rule.